The Lord be with you. So I'm going to answer two questions. I got two questions from a parishioner, and he told me that he has been following uh, TikTok, social media, and he has been hearing some African preachers, Christian preachers from the evangelical or Pentecostal background, talking about uh, the connection between paying tithe and going to heaven. And again, he also brought up another question relating to Job not paying tithe. So he brought this question to me, and because I'm a Nigerian, so he felt that I'll have the same um, background with these evangelicals or Pentecostals who are advancing this aspect of the gospel. So he's asking me, what is my opinion? So what I'm going to give is that the fact that I'm a Catholic priest means that I have no opinion because as a priest of the Catholic and Apostolic Church, we have a deposit of faith, and whatever I'm going to say is going to be drawn out a little bit from the deposit of faith, the mind of the church. So to begin with, I would say that different people have different ways of reading the scriptures. We must remember that we have the Catholic way of reading the scriptures, and there is the evangelical or the Pentecostal way of reading the scriptures. So sometimes some people, when they read the scriptures, they do not allow the scriptures to speak to them. Okay, they do not allow the scriptures to speak to them, but they want the scripture to tell them what they want to hear from the scriptures. This is true, okay, because there are different ways of doing biblical exegesis. So some of us, we want to impose our ideas on the scriptures, not what the scriptures really want to say to us. So my quick response to the question of whether our eternal salvation is dependent on our paying of tithe is, I would say, absolute no. Absolute no. So I'm speaking to Catholics, not for anyone, to Catholics. So please, if you're a Catholic, I want you to know, if any Catholic preacher is saying this to you, that your eternal salvation is predicated on your paying of tithe, know that that teaching is from the pit of hell. That teaching is from the pit of hell. Okay? It's from the pit of hell. Our eternal salvation is a gift of grace given by Jesus. So it has nothing to do with paying of tithe. Just think about this. Think about this. If our eternal salvation were to be predicated on our tithing, it means that the death of Jesus on the cross of Calvary was totally irrelevant, unnecessary. Why would he come down to earth to dwell among us and to die on the cross if we can just pay our tithe and satisfy divine justice? So some of these people who advance this aspect of this type of the gospel, they sometimes forget, because many of them, they are proponents of sola fide and sola scriptura, which means faith alone, scripture alone. So if you are saying faith alone, if you're saying that our salvation is on faith alone, and at the same time you are telling people that if they don't pay tithe, they won't go to heaven,